FPL managers, what is up? We're going to be looking at my Game Week 6 transfer plans and the Game Week 5 results. Let's get right into it. Also, let's like and subscribe. You know the drill. We're trying to hit 1k before the end of the season, and I reckon we can get that. On to these Game Week 5 results now. Going into this game week, it was going to be a bad game week to say the least. Double Arsenal defence, one City defender, not a lot of green fixtures in the attack compared to everyone else with the likes of Luis Diaz and Emil Smith-Rowe. The fact we only came out with a small red arrow is insanely good. We were very lucky with the Gabriel goal, guys, I have to admit. But we're also unlucky Eze didn't score, guys. He had two big chances, which on another day, he could have taken and bagged 2 goals. But oh well, you know, it's FPL, guys. More importantly, in other news, Morgan Rogers actually got his returns. Now, at first, he was on 7 points at the end of the game, right? Then, half an hour later, he was given 2 bonus points. Now, I've just woken up today and he's been given 10 points. He's got all 3 bonus points. So that is insane. A big haul, a well-weighted return from Morgan Rogers, costing 5.2 mil now. Still an absolute bargain, guys. The returns are going to keep coming for him. The Salah captaincy, it did fail, guys. Let's be honest. I would have been better off doing Haaland, even though he was playing against Arsenal. Now, I don't think I made the wrong choice. I think Salah was the right choice, but it just turns out that Luis Diaz is actually the better Liverpool attacker. Like, I truly believe that now. And finally, man like Chris Wood, Mr. Old Reliable, still only costing me 6 million and bagging me another goal with an 8-pointer. It's huge, guys. So yeah, shout out to my guy Chris Wood. He's going to be in my team for the foreseeable future because he's so reliable and so damn cheap. So yeah, on the whole, went from what 640k to I believe 780k, 750k. The ranks on the screen anyway. You guys know where I went to. So for a bad game week, that is actually really good. Happy with Chris Wood. Captaincy failed. Lucky with the Gabriel goal. And going into game week 6 with my team looking like a lot of wildcard 6 teams, which is huge. So yeah, let's look at the full team now. You know, I've been talking the talk. I'm saying it looks like a lot of wildcard 6 teams, and I truly believe it does. The only differences would be probably Mbeumo in there, maybe Saka instead of Salah, and some better 4 million defenders. But overall, I'm so happy with how this looks. 9 green fixtures and 2 greys. And the only 2 grey fixtures is Man City versus Newcastle. And it's, you know, quite likely, or not quite likely, but possible. Well, we know Haaland's going to get a couple goals. And Guardiola could even get a clean sheet or a goal involvement. It has been coming his way. He has been getting close. So yeah, really happy with this. And like I said, I'm matching with the wildcard 6 teams, so I'll be keeping up with them, and I'll be pulling way ahead of the people who aren't wildcarding because they're not smart long-term planners like me, guys. Let's be honest, I'm probably just the best FPL planner in the world. Follow for more tips. But yeah, literally like double Arsenal defence, home to Leicester, then home to Southampton, then away to Bournemouth. Dare I say that's 3 guaranteed clean sheets? I probably shouldn't say that, but I really believe it's true. Flecken might actually have a chance of getting me a clean sheet for once, which is also big news. And in the midfield, we've got man like Semenyo, who has blanked 2 games in a row, but he returned in the first 3 and now he's playing home to Southampton. So that is another big game for a sort of differential in my team. I also quite like Eze. We're going to talk a lot more on Eze later because we're going to look at his stats and I'm going to tell you guys why he is still worth holding for any player except Mbeumo. Okay, I truly mean that. If you can afford Mbeumo, I can't. You should get him, okay? I'm priced up by 0.1 mil, which is upsetting. So if you own Eze and you can get Mbeumo, probably do it unless there's pressing matters in your team. But guys, if you can't, I'm going to tell you what Eze is the best to hold just in a little bit. Looking at the rest of the midfield now, Rogers, we'll talk about Watkins too, playing away to Ipswich. Watkins has returned 2 games in a row, 3 goals in 2 games. I don't think he's going to stop. Morgan Rogers coming off with 2 assists in the last game, and obviously everyone's talking about him. He's unplayable. He's great on the pitch, so he's guaranteed to carry on starting and keep doing things for Aston Villa. They're kind of getting more into the groove of things now. They weren't too great at the beginning of the season, but now they're really picking it up, which means Rogers being the attacking mid or like sometimes a left winger in that team, a main starting attacker for a team competing for top 4 football, only costing 5.2 mil, guys. I think everybody should have him. The only actual drawback of this game week is that I have to keep Amad Diallo on the bench, and I just know he's going to score and get points, but it is what it is because all my other attackers are going to score and get points as well. It's what happens when you're that good at FPL, you know. Even your bench can't stop bagging you points. And yeah, obviously my favourite player, Chris Wood, is playing home to Fulham, which is probably going to be another goal. Let's be honest, guys. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's get straight into it. Wood is going to score a goal. He is a hero in my FPL this year, and I think he's going to continue that for the foreseeable future. I mean, we found out just now that he's literally on penalties, which is a huge revelation. He's taken them from Morgan Gibbs-White, which I think is very nice of Gibbs-White. I don't think it was, who's the better penalty taker. I just think Gibbs-White saw Chris Wood last season scoring lots of goals and said, hey, you know what, have a few more, which is really nice of him to care about my FPL like that. He's a kind man. Thank you. Obviously, he doesn't care about people that actually own him because he went and got a red card like a bit of a donut. Yeah, only real problem with this team, like I said, is just I need better 4 million defenders. I don't have a lot of bench coverage aside from Amad Diallo. If we're looking at captaincy as well, obviously Salah has the easy game, but I do think Salah has been underwhelming. And Haaland, we're going to look at his stats in a bit. He's been averaging 2 goals per 90, which is stupid. That is insane. He's going to end this season and absolutely obliterate his golden boot record 2 seasons ago, as long as he doesn't get injured. So yeah, that's big time for Haaland. I think Newcastle, with them being a little bit shaky recently, I think that's an easy choice to my captaincy, guys. Haaland is going to stay as my captain unless we get some news that Haaland broke his toe or something like that, or he might not play. In fact, Salah is a bit of a problem in my team. I don't know if he's going to be worth the money anymore, but right now I'm going to wait for a bit more data. I'm going to see if it's worth switching Salah to Luis Diaz next game week, but I'm not going to do it now, especially not for a -4. I'm just going to have to wait and see because it could turn out I'm wrong about Salah and he does continue getting these big hauls for my FPL team, which makes him a captaincy option again. I mean, that's the only reason he's in my team, to be a captain when Haaland can't. But like we just saw last week, Salah was underwhelming, which makes me think a little bit. So yeah, like I promised, looking at the Eze stats now, guys, he is averaging 0.9 expected goal involvements every 90 minutes, which is really high. He's just been very, well, not unfortunate, I've got to be honest. He's just been letting himself down because the expected assists aren't even too high. It's not like his teammates are letting him down. He is just not bagging the goals he should be putting away. And he also didn't take the last Crystal Palace penalty, which is also very worrying because that was a huge appeal for Eze. And the manager did say they're going to decide between them on the game. So it's not like Eze's never taken a penalty again, but it does make him a slightly worse FPL asset. I do hope he takes the next few penalties. Mateta, just go get injured or something, mate. Honestly, I can't be asked for you. I want my FPL points. But yeah, literally 0.8 expected goals per 90, but only scoring 0.4. It's kind of worrying because Eze, you don't want a player that's going to be missing their expected goals every week like Timo Werner or something like that. But we all know how good Eze is, so it is worth holding him, especially because the next couple games are still quite good. If in 2 game weeks time he doesn't return at all, then we'll be looking at selling him 100%. And now, guys, we're going to have to be looking at them Haaland stats, which is quite interesting, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, Haaland is averaging 1.1 expected goal per 90, and he's scoring 2 goals per 90. But the thing is, last season, he actually underperformed his expected goals, even though he still got the golden boot. So he was one of those players that was getting all the expected goals, but was only scoring what was expected of him. He wasn't actually being an amazing goal scorer. This season, we're seeing him almost double his expected goals. I mean, around this time last season, he would probably be on 4 or 5 goals. Now he's on 10 from 10 big chances. He is being more clinical than he has ever been in his entire life. So, in conclusion, he is worth 15.3 mil. Because when you play for Pep's Man City, you're going to keep getting these chances week in, week out. Do I think he's going to continue on this path? No, I think he's going to be slightly worse off in the future, but he's still going to be worth it. I mean, even slightly worse than averaging 2 goals per game is very good. If he was to keep this up, what's 38 times 2? 76? Yeah, he would be on 76 goals, which, let's be honest, it's not going to happen. But if he can get anywhere near 50, which he definitely could if he doesn't get injured, definitely a player worth 15.3 mil. I mean, the expected assists aren't there, but who cares? Just looking at the Southampton game as well, like 9.7 predicted points in Game Week 9. That is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen a predicted point that high in my life. In fact, I may even be tempted to play my triple captain because of the lack of double game weeks in the future of this FPL season. At least that's what's predicted to happen. So yeah, guys, overall, my transfer plans, I'm probably just going to roll the transfer if I'm being honest, because I've got nothing better to do. The team's looking really good, so unless we hear about any injuries, I'm going to be keeping my team the exact same and saving a transfer into next week in case I need to downgrade Salah and upgrade somebody else. So yeah, guys, if you did make it this far, thank you very much for watching. As always, you are greatly appreciated. And yeah, guys, I guess I will see you in the next video, which is going to be a wild card Game Week 6 video. Expect it to look a lot like my team right there.